Hi, I'm James Rice, and I work in the Visual Studio team at Microsoft. Today, I'm going to take you on a quick tour through Visual Studio Cloud subscriptions and how you can buy them. First, let's talk about Visual Studio subscriptions overall. Microsoft has been offering subscriptions for developers since the early 1990s, which we've referred to as MSDN subscriptions for many years. We now call these Visual Studio subscriptions. Millions of developers today use Visual Studio subscriptions to get everything they need to create applications, including tools, software, cloud services, and training and support. We now have a new, more flexible way to get access to all the benefits provided in Visual Studio subscriptions. With Visual Studio Cloud subscriptions, you can subscribe to Visual Studio and team developer services on a monthly or annual basis. We have 4 subscription options. With each option, you get an IDE to install on as many machines as you like. So you can write, build, and debug your code with either Visual Studio Professional, which is a great IDE for building apps for Windows, Windows Server, Android, iOS, and Linux, or Visual Studio Enterprise, which helps you handle demanding requirements like high availability, performance, scale, and complexity. And it includes all the features in Visual Studio Professional as well. You'll also get new versions of the IDE as they're released. Team collaboration benefits are common across all cloud subscriptions. You get both Visual Studio Team Services and Team Foundation Server. Both allow you and your team to share code, track work, and ship software. Team Services runs in the cloud and is managed 24/7 by Microsoft. And Team Foundation Server runs on your own servers. With the annual options, you also get subscriber benefits, such as Microsoft software to install in your dev test environments, a monthly Azure credit, training, support, and more. These subscriber benefits match what we provide in standard subscriptions, formerly known as MSDN subscriptions. So Visual Studio Professional Annual has the same subscriber benefits as Visual Studio Professional with MSDN. And Visual Studio Enterprise Annual has the same subscriber benefits as Visual Studio Enterprise with MSDN. So if you know you need 12 months of subscription coverage, you get a big upgrade by choosing the annual option and getting these subscriber benefits. And here's the pricing. It's $45 per month for Visual Studio Professional or $539 per year. With Enterprise, it's $250 per month or $29.99 per year. So let's quickly go over how these new cloud subscriptions compare to standard subscriptions. We offer 4 different options for each to meet a variety of development and testing needs. Visual Studio standard subscriptions offer a perpetual license, which allows you to keep running the software after your subscription expires. You buy through a Microsoft Volume Licensing reseller or directly from Microsoft online through the Microsoft Store. Most subscriptions require a 3-year commitment in volume licensing. And signing in to Visual Studio is optional. You could also unlock the product using a product key that we supply. This works well if you need to remain disconnected from the internet for more than 30 days at a time. With cloud subscriptions, the license is non-perpetual. We sell cloud subscriptions through the Visual Studio Marketplace, which allows you to pay using your existing Azure account or create a new one, and combine your development tools and cloud dev test environment purchases onto one bill. You have the flexibility of choosing monthly or annual options, and signing in to Visual Studio is required. So now I'm going to show you how to buy from the Visual Studio Marketplace. Okay, so here we are on the Visual Studio Marketplace, the place to find extensions and subscriptions for the Visual Studio family of products. I'm going to click into the Visual Studio subscription section. And as you can see, we've got the 4 different options, monthly and annual for Professional and monthly and annual for Enterprise. I'm going to choose Professional monthly, which is $45. And there's a page here that explains all the details of what's included. I'm just going to buy. So I was already signed in with my Microsoft account. And as you can see, I already have an Azure subscription set up under my login. If you don't have a Microsoft account or an Azure subscription, you can set those up. So I'm going to go ahead and choose my pay-as-you-go Azure subscription for billing and hit continue. And now I'm going to choose 2 people because there's one other person on my team who I want to get Visual Studio Professional. And as you can see, I've left the box checked to assign this subscription to me because one of them is for me. And that will assign it automatically. I'll hit continue and then confirm to make my purchase. And so that's how easy it is. So remember, you can buy Visual Studio subscriptions through the Visual Studio Marketplace at marketplace.visualstudio.com, and you can get all the information and downloads for Visual Studio on www.visualstudio.com. Thanks, and happy coding.